We thought we knew how civilization began. Egypt, Sumer, the Indus Valley. But what if they were not the beginning, just the fragments of something much older? Across the world, we find impossible ruins, megalithic temples, aligned to the stars, separated by oceans, yet sharing the same patterns. Who built them? And why does mainstream history ignore the signs of civilization that may have come before all others? What you're about to see might rewrite everything we know about the ancient world. Across the globe, from the jungles of South America to the deserts of the Middle East, ancient structures rise from the earth, massive, silent, and enduring. Some are well known, like Stonehenge and the pyramids of Giza. Others are more obscure, like the Nabta Playa Circle in Egypt's Nubian desert or the megalithic temples of Malta. But they all share something strange, a pattern. Despite being built by cultures that supposedly never had contact, their construction methods and astronomical alignments are eerily similar. Most are aligned to the solstices, equinoxes, or key star systems like Orion or Sirius. Some sites use identical architectural features: trilithons, polygonal masonry, and circular enclosures. Others incorporate sacred geometry, golden ratios, and perfect symmetry, long before such knowledge should have existed. Even stranger, many of these monuments are embedded in local myths that speak of ancient builders, gods, giants, or sages, who came from afar, taught the people, and then vanished. These stories are found in Peru, Mesopotamia, India, and Polynesia. Different voices. Same memory? Could be that these echoes point back to one forgotten source, an ancient civilization, predating the rest, whose influence rippled across the world before sinking into the sands of time. Archaeologists such as Thor Heyerdahl and researchers like Graham Hancock have long questioned the orthodox timeline, proposing the existence of shared pre-flood culture capable of transoceanic contact. At sites like Baalbek, Sacsayhuaman, and Nan Madol, we find stones so large and precisely shaped that even today's engineers struggle to explain how they were moved or why. In Baalbek, Lebanon, the stone of the pregnant woman weighs over 1,000 tons. Nearby lie even larger blocks, some of the heaviest ever quarried. Yet no clear records or tools have ever been found to explain their transport or placement. In Peru, the fortress of Sacsayhuaman is built from interlocking stones with angles so precise that not even a blade can fit between them. No mortar was used. No written plans have been recovered. And many of the stones weigh over 100 tons. In Micronesia, the ruins of Nan Madol rise from the sea, nearly 100 artificial islets built from basalt columns weighing several tons each, somehow stacked and placed on coral foundations. Comparable mysteries exist at Ollantaytambo in Peru, where stones were transported from a quarry across a valley, and at the unfinished obelisk of Aswan in Egypt, which weighs an estimated 1,200 tons. Mainstream archaeology struggles to account for these feats with the known tools of their time: stone hammers, copper chisels, and wooden rollers. Yet these structures exist, silent, massive, undeniable. If the civilizations we credit with these constructions lack the means, then who really built them, and how? Almost every ancient culture carries a story of a time before memory, an age of greatness followed by catastrophe. In Mesopotamia, the Sumerians spoke of antediluvian kings who ruled for thousands of years before the Great Flood. In Hindu texts, the Satya Yuga was an era of divine wisdom, now long forgotten. Native American legends tell of a time when star beings came to teach mankind, only to leave when harmony was lost. Across the Pacific, Polynesian myths speak of ancestral islands swallowed by the sea. The Egyptians refer to Zep Tepi, the first time when gods walked among men and built the foundations of their civilization. Plato's account of Atlantis and Timaeus and Critias also echoes this theme, a highly advanced civilization that vanished beneath the ocean in a single day and night of misfortune. These stories, though scattered and filtered through myth, echo the same idea. Something powerful and ancient came before. A golden age ended. A veil of amnesia fell. Were these simply symbolic tales? Or are they distorted memories of a real event? A civilization wiped from the earth, remembered only in fragments, encoded in stories, and buried beneath ruins? If clues to a lost civilization exist, why haven't we accepted them? Why does mainstream history ignore, or actively reject, the possibility of a forgotten chapter. Part of the answer lies in academic inertia. History, as taught today, follows a timeline built over centuries. Challenging that timeline threatens the careers, reputations, and institutions that defend it. Another reason is the colonial legacy of archaeology. Many early researchers impose Eurocentric narratives onto ancient sites, interpreting them to the lens of Western superiority, often dismissing local myths and oral histories as fantasy. There's also a fear of the unknown. Accepting that a global civilization once existed means rewriting everything, from the origins of writing and agriculture to the spread of language and religion. And finally, perhaps some knowledge was deliberately lost. Wars, conquests, and ideological purges have destroyed libraries, temples, and monuments. From the burning of the Library of Alexandria to the destruction of Maya codices by Spanish conquistadors, history has been shaped as much by what was erased as by what was preserved. If a great civilization once shaped the world, its memory may have been buried not just by time, but by design. What if all these mysteries point not to scattered coincidences, but to a single origin? Some researchers believe a lost seafaring civilization once traveled the globe, sharing knowledge of astronomy, sacred geometry, and monumental architecture. Their legacy may live on in myths, in symbols, and in stone. Perhaps they seeded the foundations of what we now call civilization, from the Americas to Mesopotamia, from the Nile to the Indus. The diffusionist model, once dismissed, is now gaining renewed interest through studies of shared linguistic roots, genetic patterns, and symbolic parallels in early cultures. And then something happened. A cataclysm, a disappearance, a memory wiped clean, leaving only fragment behind. Some point to the end of the Younger Dryas period, around 11,600 years ago, as a possible turning point, a time of sudden climate change and rising sea levels. If the civilization existed, its rediscovery would change everything we know about human history. So the question remains, did they really exist? Or are we simply seeing what we want to see in the ruins of the past? The truth may still be buried, waiting to be unearthed.